How bizarre. And we are live a little later than usual. My apologies. Hello, I'm Paco. This is episode 34 of the Spotlight, 34 episodes in which we've been trying to connect with interesting people here in the Bay, people that are doing projects, that are doing special events, that are opening new businesses, that provide products and services that could be helpful for us. And I'm sitting next to a hopefully new friend. This is Megan Gallagher from Epifania Learning. We're starting again. We thought we were live, but now we are certain we are live because I see some comments from people. Thank you very much. Let's do this again. I'm so sorry. So you were telling me you are from California.
I'm from Austin, Texas.
I'm sorry,
originally.
from Austin, Texas. My bad. You moved to Puerto Vallarta in 2021.
Before that, I lived in Puerto Vallarta in 2008. I came here to brush up on my Spanish, get a little teaching experience. 8 years later, I was still here, and I ended up meeting my husband when he was on vacation. He's from California.
Oh, okay.
So I went to California with him. We lived there for 6 years, and then the pandemic hit. And he was working for a little baseball team called the San Francisco Giants. And with all the layoffs, we decided, why don't we go back to Mexico where we met? We bought a home here in 2019. And he said, you know, you're really great at these trips that you've been doing with your students. I was bringing students from California down to Puerto Vallarta, showing them why I love this place so much, immersing them in the culture, the food, the language, and doing community service projects. He said, you know, this is your favorite part of teaching. Why don't we do this full time? So we launched our company in 2021.
2021, Epifania Learning.
Service Learning. Okay,
so did you already know this was going to be the way you were going to reinvent yourself once you decided to live here? Or did the idea come later?
I was originally working at one of the private schools here in town, and got a little surprised, found out I was pregnant at 3 months.
Oh dear.
And so we thought, you know, best to step aside and really focus on the family. And one way that we could do that and not be teaching the entire school year was to just focus on the trips. So we were already doing 2 trips a year from the school that I used to work at in California. And then we made connections with a school in Mexico City. And then we started doing local camps here with students that live in Puerto Vallarta. And it's been really great.
That is wonderful. You know, I want to ask you what your work is about, but I want to bring up everybody. Check out this amazing homepage. And here it is. Let me put it here. There it is. Allow your kids to experience unforgettable moments in Mexico. Week-long service learning trips to Puerto Vallarta. So what exactly do you do with, I mean, walk me through the process.
Absolutely.
I am a parent and I have the possibility of coming to Vallarta or sending my kids, traveling with them. Walk me through it.
Right, so I would do a parent informational meeting over Zoom. So I'd invite any parents that are interested to learn more to come to the meeting. And then I'd walk them through the itinerary. So hour by hour, they know what their kid is doing every second that they're here in Mexico. I fly to the place that they're coming from. I fly with the students. We bring 2 suitcases each filled with gently used clothing. We fly those down. And the kids come here, they stay in our home. We live in Las Moras, which is a private gated community.
A beautiful private gated community.
It is a nice area.
Yes.
And the kids, every morning, we go through what the plan is for the day. We will do some kind of volunteer work in the morning. We have a partnership with the Volcanes Kids Education Program, which is located in La Colonia Volcanes. Also in Saletrio, we work with Club Vallarta. We work with 2 different animal organizations, Friends of PV Animals and the Sula Society. And we also work with Peace Animals for the free spay and neuter clinics. So each morning the students will do one of those community service activities, and in the afternoon it's usually something fun. We might go canopy zip line, we might go swim with dolphins, we might go to the beach, but the whole week is a really good mixture of service learning as well as having fun, being immersed in the culture, eating delicious food, cooking class, conversation classes. So the students get way more than a vacation, and we don't really call it a vacation. We call it a service learning trip because that's what's really at the heart of it, is giving back to the community.
What age range of students do you like to enroll in this program?
So we work with middle school students. In California, middle school is 5th grade through 8th grade, and I really think that's the sweet spot. I've done trips with high schoolers and with university kids before, and I gotta say it's not my favorite. I think middle school, when you're really discovering who you are, who you wanna be, what you're gonna act like when your parents aren't over your shoulder watching you every second, I think that's the perfect time to go abroad in a safe, structured environment where you can take risks, learn more about yourself, and learn more about the person that you wanna become.
I am so impressed. You know, I was so happy that I was one of those students when I was growing up. So to think that there are these great opportunities here in town just makes my day. Now, take me back to when you first started the company. What do you remember about the first trip?
Well, the first time I ever did a trip was back in 2015 when I was teaching at a private school in the East Bay in California. And I thought, you know, these are great kids. They are very affluent. They have pretty much everything that they need. And I think it'd be helpful for them to see that not everyone lives the way that they do, and not everyone lives next door to Steph Curry, you know, famous basketball player. So I pitched the idea to the owner of the school and said, look, I lived in Vallarta for 8 years. I'm very comfortable there. What do you think about spring break? We offer a trip to the parents. But we just invite the students, and the parents get to stay home and they can kind of do their own thing. We'll bring the teacher chaperones and we'll do a small group and see how it goes. And she was open to it. We had 9 students enroll, and it was a blast. They had a great time. We learned a lot from that trip too.
Like what?
We used to do the hike to Las Animas, which is a beautiful hike and really great, but there are a lot of steps, and if the kids aren't in super great shape, it is a little hard. So we've since nixed that hike. If someone is really adventurous and wants to go for a run in the morning or a walk, I'm always open to doing that with the students, but we've taken the Las Animas hike off the itinerary.
I love the name of your company, because the word epifania is a word that I use a lot.
And I owe that to my husband. He's very creative. He is the behind the scenes kind of hero of the whole company, but he came up with that name, and because it is a cognate and sounds very similar in English and in Spanish, he's been able to see, for some of these kids, this trip is life-changing. It affects the entire trajectory of their decisions that they're going to make, who they're going to become. I have former students who are now studying Spanish in college. I have some who have decided to become vets because they did the free spay and neuter clinic. I have some that are going to become teachers because they loved being in the classroom with the students in Volcanes. They got to teach English and it was their first experience. So I think we really do see a lot of epifanias on this trip, and that's where the name came from.
Can you think of one specific epifania, one specific epiphany that may have occurred to one of the students that made you come home and say to your husband or say to myself, yes, this is my groove and we're doing what we're meant to do?
I think back in 2019, we did a trip in December, and it was one of our first trips in December, which is a great time to be down here, obviously. There's lots of posadas going on, and we had 17 students on that trip. It was one of our larger groups, and there was one student who just, from the moment he arrived at the school in Volcanes, made a real effort to get to know the students. He taught them a secret handshake that they would all do when he would come in the morning. He was really involved in the games that we would play, the icebreakers, Duck, Duck, Goose, just having fun. I mean, this is a 13-year-old kid playing with, first and second graders, just having a blast. We had our annual soccer match where they play on the field and just really having fun. And at the end of the week, it was Friday, it was our last day at the school, and we were all kind of getting into the van to leave, and this whole group of students, I'm talking at least 10, maybe 15, came up and yelled his name, Winslow, Winslow, and he went and they all hugged him and they gave him the biggest hug. And his parents later told me that he still talks about this trip to this day. He's now a sophomore in high school as the best travel experience he's ever had. This is a kid that's been all over Europe, all over the world, and he names this trip as the best travel experience he's ever had.
Wow. Now, the ages that you mentioned are ages in which, if I was a parent, I would be extremely concerned about my child's well-being. And we're mindful of the fact that, for better or worse, we live in a world in which a lot of information gets circulated. Some of it may be accurate, some of it may not be. Let's talk about safety.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure that there are parents out there that are thinking, well, how do I know that my kid is going to be safe? What kind of questions have you had to field in that regard, and how have you dealt with this?
Yeah, I think safety is probably the number one issue that comes up, and I kind of try to go at it head on and say, look, you can hear it from me. I'm obviously raising my family here. I have 2 young girls. They're 2 and 4. They go to school here. I clearly feel very safe here, very comfortable here. This is my home, but don't take it from me. And I give them the contacts of parents whose students have traveled with me in the past, and I say, I can't explain what the at-home experience is like because I've never had it, but I really encourage you to reach out to any of these parents. They're happy to talk to you. They can tell you, what the experience is like. Within the itinerary, we have an hour built in every evening where the students have to call home. That's actually the only time they can have their cell phone, which is a little bit of a shock for some of them. But
wow.
They have their phones on airplane mode during the day, so if they want to take photos, they're welcome to, but they get an hour at night where they have to call home first and check in, and then that's their screen time that they get for the day, which a lot of the parents have really come to appreciate. And the kids, by the end of the week, aren't even really missing it or asking for it. And they're so busy and so immersed while they're here that there's really not time for it. But I think having that check-in every single day, the parents get to hear what they were doing. Besides the really detailed itinerary, they know where we are every hour of every day. I think that helps ease some concerns. Obviously, we're really close to one of the best hospitals in Las Moras. You've got La Jolla right there, so they know where the nearest hospital is, they know where the nearest pharmacy is. We have a great travel health insurance policy that comes included in the trip. So with that, it's just up to the parents ultimately. If they feel that they're ready and that their students are ready to travel, then they're welcome to come with us.
Excellent. We're sitting here talking to Megan about school, about community service experience for students traveling to Mexico. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask your questions with a capital letter Q at the beginning of our conversation. At the beginning of your comment. I'm trying to ask all the good questions, so I hope we're doing okay. I have a question, because you were telling me earlier, before we started the interview, that you found a way to create a comparable experience for local kids. And I'm going to have a flyer to show on the screen in a second, but tell me how that came about.
Yeah, so we were, my husband and I were talking about the company and how things are going with the international trips, and they've been great, but we said, why are we importing kids from the US to come down here and do this community service work? What about the students that live here in Vallarta? Why aren't they doing some of this work? Do they know about these organizations? And so this past summer, we held our first Epifania summer camp, and we had 10 kids enroll, and it was fantastic. We did the same thing without the overnight aspect. So the kids would meet us with their parents at 8:30 in the morning. They would stay with us throughout the day, and then the parents would pick them up at 5:30. So more like a day camp, obviously less than half the price of the international trip. And the students got to have a little taste of all the different organizations that we work with. And what's great about that is if they find one that's a really good fit, they can continue and keep working with that organization because they're here, they're local. Also didn't really have to worry about stomach issues. The kids were used to the food down here. Didn't have to worry about any of the culture shock because they're down here. So it was really, really great. Since then, my husband thought, well, why don't we do this once a month? Why don't we get any local kids that want to come to the organizations? Last Friday of the month, there's no school. Parents don't know what to do with their kids. So how about we invite them and we go to a different organization each month? So that's what we started in October. And we went to Friends of PV Animals. This month, last Saturday, we went to the Vallarta Food Bank, now Vallarta Cares, and next month we'll be going to the Sula Society. So for all the dog lovers out there, if you would like to join us, it'll be Sunday the 15th. We'll meet at Costco at 9 a.m. and we will provide transport. We have room for 15 passengers out to the Sula Society, which is kind of towards Ixtapa. It's the largest animal rescue in Puerto Vallarta. They have only over 300 dogs out there. So we'll help walk them, socialize them, bathe them if need be. It's a really great experience. You get some good exercise, help the dogs. Hopefully they can find their forever home. And then we provide transport back to Costco and parents pick up at 1 o'clock.
I wish I was a student.
Well, adults are welcome too.
I would sign up in a heartbeat.
You are welcome to come as well.
Wow, that sounds like fun. More questions. What do you do, or how do you go about screening organizations? Because it occurs to me that somebody might be watching thinking, I have a great organization or a great place where I need help, volunteers, and I think I would be a good source of cultural experiences for kids. How do you decide who you work with or you don't work with? Are there any qualifications or guidelines?
Please reach out to me. If you have an organization here and you're looking for volunteers, I'd love to be in contact with you. The organizations that we work with right now are ones that I have known personally for years. And so either I've been involved with them, or I've rescued an animal for them, maybe I've adopted from them, or I was a teacher in the Volcanes program for 4 years. So obviously I feel really comfortable with them, but I'm open to any other organizations. We are larger groups, so some organizations don't have the capacity. The Rio, I'm thinking of the Spay and Neuter Clinic on the Rio Quale doesn't have the space. So keeping in mind that we're groups of 15 to 20 students, we would love to come and work with you if you're needing help, especially in the low season. So we found that in the summer months when we did the summer camp, that's when a lot of the organizations really need the most help. There's not as many volunteers, there's not as many donations coming in as you might see during high season. So yeah, we're definitely open to working with other organizations here in town.
Well, that is such great news. What a great organization and what a great program. Am I missing anything that is important for you, Megan, that people know about what you're doing? You're getting all kinds of really fun comments. Karen says, sounds like a fantastic program and opportunity for a kid to experience. Albert says, what a great program. Wish there was something like that when I was a kid. Don't we all, Albert? Another one, wow, isn't that great? Such a wonderful opportunity for kids. What are we missing?
Help me spread the word. We are open to taking new groups. Our minimum group size is 8 for international travel from the US. So group size 8, we always fly with 2 chaperones, so group size of 10 total. So please help spread the word. We're open to working with new schools, different youth groups, church groups, organizations. You're welcome to contact me through our website. You can also reach me at epiphanialearning@gmail.com. Either one would be great, but yes, please help spread the word about what we're doing. I don't know of how many other programs there are that are available for this particular age range, middle school. A lot of schools have programs that they already work with, but they generally go to Costa Rica, sometimes Panama, sometimes Spain. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit closer to home, a little bit more affordable, then Mexico might be the right destination for you. So please reach out to me if you're looking to put a group together. I'd be happy to help you.
Megan, it has been a pleasure. Please don't forget about Coffee and Headlines. When the date of your next event gets closer, please nudge me or create a Facebook event so that we can publicize it. And congratulations, this sounds like a really fun program.
Thank you so much for your time, Paco.
Thank you for coming to join me. And this wraps it up for our first interviewee, which means that we are about to welcome our second interviewee. Of course, Megan ran away with my microphone, which I'm hoping she will relinquish. I'll take that, darling.
Megan's got to go tutor.
I know. Thank you so much for coming. And this brings us to, let me invite our next guest to sit next to me. We're going to do a quick switcheroo here. Let me give you a microphone first, darling.
I'll let you
there you go.
Fabulous.
And now let us throw in our next. Don't go anywhere, Mr. audience member. Somebody just walked in that I had no idea was in town, and I am just so delighted to see these people show up. Well, my next guest I'm totally intrigued about. He is a musician, a medium, and an overall interesting guy that knocked on my door and said to me, Paco, I want to be in the spotlight. His name is Raphaël. Hi.
Hi, Paco. Great to be here today.
It is so great to see you. So what's
What?
Because I went and looked at your website and I was like, oh my goodness, there's so much to pick on, to pick from, not to pick on, to pick from.
Or maybe pick on.
Where are you from?
So I was born and raised in France. I basically have been traveling the world for the most of my life until now. This is how I arrived in Puerto Vallarta. I am trained as a dancer, singer, actor. My family was very involved in the development of the movie industry. It's a brand called Pathé. We started basically creating the first movies, the news as well on TV. Basically, I was on TV back then in 1896. But it was a way to get people to discover the news. So I've always been very interested in entertainment.
Wait a second. I go to the movies and I see a Pathé logo that kind of spins around and looks like a speech bubble.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, there's a roaster. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's you?
It's not me, but it's my ancestor who created the brand.
Wow, that is amazing.
So that always had a very big influence on me and my connection to TV, cinema, and that's what really gave me the desire to dance, to sing, to learn everything about TV and movies. And that's how I started to work in TV in Paris. I also acted in movies in London. But I'm also a medium. I talk to spirits.
Fair.
This is probably what we want to focus more on today, because that's probably the weirdest thing about me.
Well, I think it's absolutely fascinating. But even before we go there, tell me, how did you discover Puerto Vallarta?
That's a very good question. So I used to live in LA. I was there. I was about to do a TV show called The Sound of Luxury, which is an idea that I had. I was traveling the world as a DJ, and I started to film my adventures, traveling in W hotels and luxury hotels and DJ. And I came up with this idea to Larry Namer, who created E! Entertainment in the 80s. And he said, oh, maybe we should put this segment as part of a show that we're doing right now that we broadcast in China called Hello Hollywood. And I said, that sounds really cool. He arranged for me to move to LA. And that's where I spent quite a few years. And from there, I kept meeting people in West Hollywood that loved to come to Puerto Vallarta. And also, I really wanted to discover Mexico, where I hadn't been before, because I'm from France, and we don't necessarily come all the time in Mexico. I've been to other countries first. And when I tasted the tacos in LA at the gas station, I thought, this is so delicious. And my friends told me, you have seen nothing. You need to go to Mexico to try the tacos. And I came to Puerto Vallarta, and I have been here for a little while. I decided to stay. So I've been here for almost 8 years on and off. And that's how I arrived in Puerto Vallarta in 2016.
So at what point did you decide to, I don't even want to go there yet, because we haven't even talked about your skills as a musician and as a medium.
Sure.
How did these skills start speaking to you, and when?
So when I was a child, I wanted to work in entertainment already, because I was very interested in music, cinema, everything I was mentioning before, but I was also very interested in life after death. You know, I was wondering what happens after life, and I felt there was something. So I was reading books. My parents had a lot of books in our home, and I was, reading books about it. Since a very, very early age, I was sure there was life after death. And there were things appearing in my room as well, like spirits that were scaring me a lot. There were also a good spirit in my home that was looking after me. And that spirit was the one of my grandmother, who built the home I grew up in. So from a very early age, like 3 years old, I could already feel good spirits, bad spirits, and that's how it started. And the entertainment, because I was seeing TV, music. I had a keyboard. I learned how to play the music when I was a child. And I was also very attracted to clubs and discotheques on TV. I always felt that my grandfather had a big theater He's not related to the Pathé. This is the other grandfather, and he had a theater, and I could play actually on the stage. I grew up in a place where we had a theater and a big garden. So the theater was not working anymore, but I could go there with my friends from high school and play on the stage for just ourselves, because obviously it was not. But so everything started at the same time. I feel that everything I am that I'm doing now is 100% connected to what I was when I was little. So there's never been a shift, I would say. I've always been into supernatural, music, talking, entertainment, and traveling. This is something that I was always very, very connected to, traveling.
That is wonderful.
I hope that's not too much,
No,
too much of a mixture.
No, I love it.
But I'm a little bit of a mixture of a lot of things.
You know, I think it's not, I mean, my opinion is just my little opinion, but I think all of us that come to this city, whenever we come here, we come to reinvent ourselves.
So true.
I think anyone moving to a new city, and it's not something that's particular to Puerto Vallarta. I mean, whenever we make a change of life that big, we have to reinvent ourselves.
It was a massive change when I got here. So it's very true what you are saying, because after living in big cities all around the world, I had never lived in an exotic kind of destination apart from St. Bart's. So when I arrived here in the month of September 2016, you know, September is not the best month here. It's low season.
Yeah.
It rains a lot. It's tropical. And so I was like, okay, what did I do? But then little by little, I started to learn about the place. And of course, by November, it was full of people. The humidity was gone. And so I saw a complete different face of Puerto Vallarta. And it's also a place of healing for a lot of people. You come here, there is something magnetic about here that I feel very strongly. That does remind me a bit of Ibiza as well. These two places have a very magnetic energy, and I think a lot of people come here, as you said, to reinvent themselves, even if they don't know it. That's why a lot of people come here that are drawn to Puerto Vallarta, thinking, okay, I'm going to eat tacos and margaritas and have fun and see a bit of Mexico. But once they are here, they think, oh, there's something else. This is not just a package 1 week vacation that I'm living here. This is something that really touched me very deeply inside. This is what it did to me, and it completely changed my life in a sense that before I came here, I was more into sparkles of Hollywood, you know, TV and superficial things. But Puerto Vallarta brought something different to me where I became more real. I had to. So it opened a new chapter by accident.
That is so interesting. And you've packaged this. I went looking at your website.
Sure.
And you've packaged this as an experience that you call Talk to Spirits. Entertainment meets the spiritual world, which, as I understand it, until very recently, you were offering at the Palm. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. So I wrote this show. It's a show that includes everything that I enjoy doing. Music, storytelling about my family and the movie world, talking about spirits, and offering reading to people in the audience. So it's a show that's a cabaret show that can be done in any kind of stages, that combines everything. It's not just readings and talking to spirits, it's also something you can come and watch. So I wrote this show when I was in Greece, because I just came back from Greece like 2 months ago. And I came up with this idea, and this is how I met online. I mean, I spoke to the owner of the cabaret, Adriana, and she said that would be a very good idea to have that at the Palm. I really love your idea. And so I prepared everything, I came here and I was able to develop it at the Palm. And it was a very interesting experience. I've done 3 shows so far. The experience was fascinating. It's the first time I was doing a show in a cabaret. I used to DJ and do shows on stage, but not my own show that I've written. And it's a proper cabaret show. So it was a very, very exciting process. The Palm is a great venue because it's an international venue that everyone has heard about. It has the best shows, the best lights. And so that was very, very exciting for me. So yes, and it went really well. So I've done 3 shows. Now I'm looking for a new venue to do the show because they're so busy and so successful and have so many shows that are 8 o'clock. This is the time that I wanted. I wanted to do something at night. I'm a night owl. The show was programmed at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturdays, and I feel this is really what I want, like a night show, like 8:30 or something like that. So I'm at the moment in talks with other venues to do the show in a place that has a slot available for me at 8:30. 5 o'clock was great, but I think at 8 o'clock I can talk to more people.
So right now you're venue-less. Is there another place where people can connect with you, or?
Yes, absolutely. So I do readings online, first of all, and I do group readings if someone comes here in a condo, a hotel, or even a venue that really needs a very cool entertainment. I am available to either offer this show, Talk to Spirits, how it goes. There's a screen behind. It combines, as I said, reading, audience reading, so talking to spirits, but also like storytelling, singing. Also, I have my own music production in the show. So either a venue that's looking for something really exciting. The audience were really excited about this idea because there's nothing like my show in Puerto Vallarta. There's a lot of tributes, there's a lot of great singers, there's a lot of great drag queens, and amazing classic shows that are doing great. But there isn't something like me. So if you want, if you have a hotel, if you have another cabaret, and in fact, I'm talking to a lot of other venues at the moment, or a hotel that you're launching and you want something like the Trees Hotel, or if you want to launch something really different, very international, I speak 3 languages, French, English, and Spanish. So that would include all the community and the tourists and the Mexican people, because a lot of shows are just in English here. But it's good to speak a bit of Spanish. So yes, that's what I'm looking for at the moment. And it can be a big restaurant, a rooftop. It's very, very flexible. This show can be adjusted, and it can also be just like audience reading. And I'm very versatile in the sense that I've done so many shows as a DJ in different venues, from weddings, luxury hotels, discotheques, co-working spots. It can be really done. This is the kind of format that can be done anywhere. And yes.
It occurs to me, this might be a fun experience at a private home. Like if a group of people were renting a large villa or something.
100%.
Have you done stuff like that here in town?
I've done that. No, I've done that a lot in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills. People would call me and say, we have this villa. Would you like to come and do something for us? I've done a lot of that. Here I have done it a little bit, but more in Nuevo Vallarta. Like people call me from an apartment they rented close to W Hotel, and then I went to their home and did readings. I haven't done a lot of it here yet, because I was very focused on this show. But this is something I can do as well. Yes, private reading for like 10 people. People can also ask questions about their future, their own future. And the new thing that I've put in the whole show is that people can also ask a question anonymously. Like, let's say someone wants to know if the husband's doing funny things at night, or that they wouldn't know. Well, they can ask the question just with a nickname, saying, Jay wants to know what's going on with their love life.
I'm asking for a friend.
I'm asking for a friend, and there's 2 people in the room. But it could be questions about work, about money. Maybe, even if you are with friends, you maybe don't want to know, what everyone's going through at the moment. So it's very, very versatile in terms of a concept.
I would imagine, you talked earlier about good spirits and bad spirits.
Yes.
And I'm sure we all travel with good energy and bad energy.
Yes.
Have you been in a situation, asking for a friend? No, I'm just curious. I'm just curious, but have you found yourself in a situation in which you had to interact with someone that had an overwhelmingly dark energy, and what do you do about, first of all, how do you convey that to the person, or do you convey that to the person? And is part of what you do something that is meant to dispel that bad energy? And this may seem like a totally ignorant question, but those are the kinds of questions we ask here.
Of course, yes. So some people are possessed by a bad energy, and I can see it. I can see people's aura and what is happening to them. And there are times, it happens a lot, not just in Puerto Vallarta, but all around the world. And sometimes the problem is that for me to help somebody, it has to come from them. They need to ask me. But sometimes this person has a spirit haunting them, that's within them, and that spirit will do everything for them not to want to heal and not to want for them to go away. So if a person asks me, I'm not feeling well, I'm not sleeping well, I feel somebody's attacking me all the time, I'm going nuts, and they ask me, can you help me? I will. But if someone comes to me and is totally possessed, which happens to me a lot, and doesn't ask for anything, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not God. I'm not going to do things that people are not asking me for. So to answer your question, that happens a lot, what you just described. A lot of people are possessed, not millions and millions, but I come across people who are like that. I can see what is possessing them and what is appearing, but unless they ask me, I will not do anything. But if they do, yes, I will do something and help them and push the creature away.
How do you protect yourself in the process?
That's a very good question. So I have different guides. I have like a woman and a man next to me, Josephine and Joe. He's not Joe, but I call him Joe. It's like a pirate. And Josephine is more like a duchess, a blonde duchess. So it's a very good combination. It's a bit like me, a pirate and a duchess.
Fair.
The duchess loves doing luxury and nice things and perfume. And
I'm sorry, that was just absolutely
No,
precious.
but
It's like I can picture your calling card saying Raphaël Pathé.
half duchess, half pirate. Yeah.
Well, I was
Yeah.
funny to me. Never mind.
Ah, you were referring to yourself?
Uh-huh.
You're duchess and pirate? No.
No, I just thought it was funny. I mean, I suppose I'm a princess and what am I, Eric?
A warrior, maybe. Princess.
I am a princess.
A double
and
princess.
Oh my God. Everybody, Eric is sitting in the back, the owner of this place, and he's going to make sure that we raffle something today. Oh, and you're going to have a giveaway for today.
Yes, so I'm not doing a giveaway, but I have a percentage, a rejection, you know, for anybody who books a session with me has a 10% discount by saying the code. I now forgot the name of the code, but I gave it to you. Did you put it?
No.
It was the Spotlight 2024 or something. I can check exactly because I sent you an email, but no matter what, if people contact me and give me the code, I think it was Spotlight 2024. They will get 10% off. Not the shows, but the consultations.
Okay, so
Spotlight 2024.
Spotlight 2020.
Until January 2025.
Okay.
Any reading, book, or
Spotlight
service with me.
2024.
Yeah, that's what it is, exactly. So if they get in touch with me and give me this code, I will do a 10% discount on all my services, excluding shows, because when I do a show, I work with the venue and it's different.
Okay.
I'm not responsible for the tickets.
So everybody, we're all on the same
There
page
you
now.
go.
If
You are possessed.
between now and January of this
Yeah, like, yes, exactly.
this coming
2025.
January,
Yes, yes.
Okay, so all through the month of November, what's left, and December, if you want a reading or an experience, or
Group, even a group reading, anything you will book with me, apart from tickets for shows, because that's different.
Okay.
Everything else is 10% discount on anything from my catalog. Go.
Spotlight 2024. I love it. There was a question here. Mark Jennings is,
All
well,
right.
first of all, Monica and Brad are saying this is a great idea for a posada. So there you have it. If anybody's organizing a party,
I love posadas.
yeah,
yes.
let's make it happen. And Mark is asking, what is an audience reading?
So an audience reading, the way that I do it, you might have seen that on TV, like when you have a medium like, what's the name again? The Long Island medium goes like in the audience and sees spirits and start talking to the spirits. The way I do it, because I like to be spot on and more specific, I ask for the audience to show me a photo of someone that crossed over, or it can be an animal as well, that they would like to reconnect with. So it just requires for the person to show me a photo, sometimes just a name, but I like to see the photo, it's a little more personal. Name or photo, and then I will connect to the spirits. This is what I would call an audience reading.
Okay. What else? What else are we missing here? What else can we tell people so that they can connect with you?
What else we could tell people? That a reading sometimes can really help you to see what you can't see. And I see a lot of people that are stuck in this world. Sometimes somebody passed away and you don't know what happened to them. If they think of you, if they approve, like you got married to someone and maybe they don't approve. Sometimes I have people asking me, I'm gay and I got married to a man and my grandpa passed like a million years ago. Would he approve for me to be married to a man? Or a woman saying I married, I don't know, this guy. Can my grandma from the other side see me with this man and how happy I am? So sometimes you want validation. It helps you, with your roots and knowing that your ancestor validate what you do. But also you just lost an animal and you want to reconnect with them. I had, like in the show Talk to Spirits at the Palm last Saturday, I had someone who lost a beautiful red river, and he showed me the photo, and it was very interesting because this dog was not just a simple dog, it was almost like a human in the dog. And she had a lot of things to say, like she remembered how he was tricking her, hiding little treats, and I could see she was talking to me. This one was very talkative.
time out. Tell a story. I'll be right back.
Sure, no problem. So that was just very interesting, this retriever, this animal who was talking to me. So that's what I do. I reconnect people to spirits, animals. And you know, it happens a lot. Sometimes in life you're feeling really, really sad. Like my best friend died in a car crash when I was 20. And I feel him around me. I have this ability to feel him. So I know he's okay. And whenever I think of him, I'm actually laughing because he was a lot of fun. And we all have someone that passed, and we would like to be reassured, knowing where they are, what they are doing, where we go after life as well. This is the big question. Where do we go? Where do we come from? Do we have, is there such thing as life after life? Like the Cher song, you remember? After love, but I say after life. And so it can really help you, because we're all here on earth. We have this life experience. We're here to learn. And I think knowing that there's a little something out there makes the experience more meaningful, because sometimes you're stuck, you're not sure, why is that happening to me? Why is this not working? Why did this person screaming at me? Well, maybe you met in another life. Maybe there's something you want to change in how you see this person. And I find that this, you know, by bridging past life, the life we have here, and where we're headed after, can really help us having a better experience here on Earth. And I'm just going to finish. When we get a psychic reading, it's very good as well knowing when you are starting a new venture, opening a new hotel, or maybe traveling around the world, or coming to Puerto Vallarta. You want to know, is this a good idea? You can ask me, and I can tell you a little bit if it's a good idea or not. And usually I'm right. There's nothing really that says that I'm not. So it's quite scary. Most of the people I've done a reading for call me again and say, you were so right. So.
Well, I have a loaded question. And it didn't even come from me. It came from a good friend.
All right, perfect.
Raphaël, what do you see for the future of coffee and headlines as Paco continues to grow his channel and present different viewpoints of Mexico?
Well, I mean, I think you don't need to be a psychic or medium. I think what you're doing right now is really working very well. I think the way you speak as well, this is why I was very excited to come here, because the way you express yourself, it's very clear. And you know, nowadays, like people like me talk too fast and stuff, but you don't have that problem. People can really understand what you say. And I think when you're a good communicator, and that's really what I feel you are, it can only work. You know, this aura and knowing how to talk and charisma, this is the key for the success and the long-term success. So I think it's going to grow.
Oh.
I can only see it growing.
Thank you.
But that's not a psychic thing. That's more like what I see. I can only see it working better and better.
Okay, then let me ask you this question, just out of curiosity. The
Sure.
last time I sat down with someone with your skill set,
Okay.
she told me, who is that female energy source of light, like right behind you over here? Is she still there?
Right. So what I see something else in front of you. I see a little blockage, I have to say, in our life.
A little bit of what?
A little bit of a blockage, something that's blocking you, but I see more like it's about your life. There is something, it's hard for you to move forward with it. You're a little bit stuck with that. And this is more something that I feel you need to hear from me. More than female energy, I could look into it. But I feel you are a little bit, you're not sure you really want to do it and you want to say to the world. There is something you want to say, but you're not sure quite yet.
I'm Julie Andrews. I'm Julie Andrews. I really am.
There you
No,
go.
I'm just kidding.
I know, I understand. And there's a potential that you have that I feel, you know, even asking me this question about the show, I feel everything could be bigger and more like, there could be even more light.
Oh, you found my saboteur. Yeah, I live with sabotage.
Okay.
So, yeah, I know
Yeah.
that tenant.
There is something, yes.
Yeah.
And I think you could use some stones to get them away from you. Maybe a tiger eye would be good to reaffirm who you are. It's a stone. Very easy to find tiger eye, you know. Maybe you need a bit more tiger energy. Not tiger as like biting everyone, just some people, but the tiger energy is about other people respecting your boundaries and you being proud of who you are, where you come from, and like affirming that, you know, to the world.
Thank you.
So that would be a good stone for you.
Thank you.
As this entity that could be behind you, I would need to see a photo of this person or her name, and then I could tell you more about her.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough. Are we missing anything?
I don't think so. I think we said everything we had to say. I'm here for now in Puerto Vallarta and available for readings and shows.
Well, as long as you're here, will you keep me company for another 5 minutes?
For sure.
Wonderful.
I'm here. I have a lot of brownie left.
As long as you, bring it
Yes.
over if you want.
Let's
As long
fully
as you're
depart.
here, I want to remind everyone of my own events. Tomorrow is my Gratitude Music Appreciation presentation, as you know, right here at the Joint Boutique Hotel in Cowork. We're going to talk about music that honors thankfulness. We are going to, well, I'm going to bring music that makes me feel the warm fuzzies and makes me feel grateful to have the life I have, to have the friends I have, to have made the choices I have made. So I'm hoping that this music will also inspire other people that are going to be with us, and that is going to be tomorrow at 5 o'clock here at the Joint. Then my first presentation my first presentation of December is going to be a Mexican December, where we're going to unpack Mexico's holiday season celebrations. This is not going to be so much a music appreciation experience, but with so many traditions that we have here in Mexico around the Christmas holidays, I figured I might throw a crash course. So that is something that you might find interesting. And look at our schedule of interviewees for the Spotlight. All of a sudden, we have a bunch of people, and I couldn't be happier. Today we had Megan, we had you, Raphaël, we have the Lucha Libre guy is coming next week to talk about the Lucha Libre match that is coming to Puerto Vallarta in December. We're going to have restaurant owners, tour providers, plant distributors, home safety specialists. I mean, it is really, I'm just happy that what we're doing here is finally taking off. And of course, the last thing that I want to do is give away something, as we always give something away. First of all, Raphaël was very kind to let us know that everyone can have access to that discount, and you saw the magic word on your screen. But we are going to give away a muffin and coffee combo for Café Rio. All you have to do is enter the word muffin in your comment, and we will be very happy to give away one of these 50 peso combos of a coffee and a muffin. What did I call it? What did I say? Muffin.
Muffin, yes.
Muffin.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Clearly, I need more coffee. So anybody that wants to win a free muffin and coffee, all you have to do is write muffin in your comment. And while we're doing that, let's see. Oh, Michael, I'm so glad to see you, because I'm wondering if we're having dinner together as we had agreed. And I'm wondering if I can bring 2 guests that just showed up. Michael Bufford from Siam TV, always here, and I'm so happy to see him. And maybe I'll dine with you, Michael. Maybe I will talk my 2 friends that are sitting in the audience into joining me for some Thai food. Do you want to have some Thai?
Why not? Yes.
There you
absolutely.
go.
Yes.
There you go.
Thai.
There you go. So we've had, let's see. Do we have some people wanting muffins? Yes, we do. Look at that. We're going to spend 15 more seconds collecting people's muffin names. And I think we are ready for this muffin. We are ready to give this away. Sure, why not? Let me put the drawing on the screen. And I haven't even put it on the, I'm not even going to put it on the screen today because I forgot to do it all together. But the winner is Albert Friss.
Bravo. I'm jealous.
Albert, you just won a muffin combo. And I swear to God, we did the drawing. I just didn't get around
I
to
saw
putting
it.
it on the screen.
He did it.
There you go. So, there you go. So I think that means we are done.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was
I
a
hope
great
you
pleasure.
enjoyed yourself, and I hope you will keep me posted once you find and secure this new venue.
Absolutely. I will invite you.
Yes, please do that. And this, my friends, this is yet another episode of what we do here at the Spotlight, which is to present just anyone that is doing something exciting. And today was really exciting. Thank you once again. And,
Thank you.
and I hope you get a lot of readings in your future. I see a lot of readings in your future. There you go.
You must be psychic.
Well, maybe a little bit, maybe not. I will see you again tomorrow morning for Coffee and Headlines, and I will see you in a week for another edition of the Spotlight. Thank you for joining us today.